Okay, good morning, everybody. We will get started on time today. So for those of you who don't know me, my name's Lindsay, um, and I've got Jemma. So me and Jemma will be running the session with you today. We're two of the health promotion team leaders, and then we also have Meg, who's joining with us as well today, our state program manager. So she'll be listening along as well and can help with any questions you might have at the end. So just a reminder that we will be recording the session today. So if
I'm not
you do
sure
not
why
want
you
to have
can't see
your
her.
face on
Can you
camera,
check?
then just turn off your video. As well, if we could try to use the mute button when we're not speaking, just so that way there's no background noise during the session, that would be great. And as well, feel free to use the chat function throughout this session. And we'll also kind of stop and periodically ask for questions as well. But feel free to come off mute during the question periods and ask any questions you might have. Oh. All right. I would like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land from which we are presenting from today, the Turrbal and Yagara people, for those of us in the office, along with the traditional owners of where you are all joining us from today. I pay my respects to elders past, present, and emerging.
All right. So this morning we're going to be running through, this is the second Southern Regional Facilitator networking meeting. So in the first one, we had a bit of a format where we spoke a little bit as a team, and then we had a guest speaker presentation and a Q&A at the end. For the session today, Lindsay and I are going to be focusing on providing you with a bit of an update about the Country Kitchens program. So our priorities and our goals, as well as the special projects that we've been working on for 2025. Then we're going to be touching a little bit on how to plan some activities for Country Kitchens for the year. So taking a little bit of time to look at the different steps that would be involved to analyse, what your branch wants to do this year. And then to end the session, we're going to have a bit of a Q&A open floor section. So plenty of chances there to ask questions of myself and Lindsay, as well as anyone else on the call, and share some ideas. So that's our session this morning. So we thought that we would start by kicking things off, reflecting on all of the wonderful work that you, our Country Kitchens facilitators, do. So if you were at State Conference in October last year, you may have seen this report. So we put together this 3-year report, and it provides an overview of the achievements of the program throughout our most recent 3-year funding contract. So that was the period from July 2021 to June last year. So this report includes key photo highlights from across the state, as well as lots of activity highlights from each QCWA division. A copy of this report was emailed to all Country Kitchens facilitators and division presidents via email in October. And we also sent it out to QCWA members via the Express newsletter or a member email. So everyone should have received a copy of this. If you haven't, please let us know and we can gladly forward you another copy. So the QCWA Country Kitchens program is now entering its 10th year of ongoing program funding. So this is really an incredible achievement, and credit to all of those who have been really involved in the program since its inception. So over these next couple of slides, we just wanted to show a brief snapshot of some of the achievements. So over the 3 years, our Country Kitchens facilitators collectively delivered over 3,500 community activities. So you can see a breakdown of that in purple in the bottom left. We had an estimated engagement of almost 57,000 community members. So that's people that were participating in these activities. We also had a total of 171 partnerships with like-minded community groups and organisations. And these partnerships ranged from networking right through to really strong collaborative partnerships. We also had 42 facilitators complete all 6 levels of our training pathway. And our social media reach really continues to grow. So we had over 500,000 reach on our social media profiles over those 3 years.
That's good.
So looking to the future, some of our key priorities for the remainder of this financial year, so going into June 2025, of course, we're always looking for new facilitators. Any new facilitators are great, but particularly from our branches who do not currently have one. Our target is to have our target by the end of June will be to recruit 8 new branches. So if you do know any members or branches that may be interested in joining, please encourage them to register as a facilitator or to get in touch with one of us if they have any questions about the program. And throughout the year, we'll be continuing to host these online regional facilitator network meetings. The first sessions, as Jemma said, were held in September with a total of 33 attendees across the 3 meetings. We received a lot of positive feedback from facilitators in the follow-up surveys, and we hope to continue holding the meetings approximately once a quarter. And if you have any suggestions of topics to cover in these sessions, you can always reach out to us with any ideas, and we'll keep those in mind for future sessions. We've also got some special projects coming up, which we'll talk a little bit more about now, including our Healthier Supermarkets pilot project, Sit Less, Move More walking group initiative, as well as we will be reviewing levels 4 to 6, so those hands-on nutrition workshops, back to basics and advocacy training level of the pathway, which we'll go into a little more detail about over the next few slides. All right, so one of our big priorities for the rest of the financial year is going to be our Healthier Supermarket pilot project. So this kind of came around from the fact that research has found that customers want to make healthy choices, but find the way that products are priced, promoted, laid out in grocery stores is a barrier. So they wanted more support from supermarkets to help them choose healthier food and drink options. So over the past 12 months, facilitators have been promoting this kind of Healthier Supermarkets program in associated recipes within their local supermarkets and stores. So we've had in particular a small number of supermarkets in Western Division, particularly St. George, have ongoing displays promoting recipes. So we've had some posters with QR codes that will link people who go into the stores to recipes on the Country Kitchen's website. And so they can kind of use that alongside their shopping to pick out the ingredients they need to make those recipes at home. So kind of to progress on this Healthier Supermarkets idea, it's thought that there may be opportunities to support improving the healthiness of local stores and supermarkets more broadly. So there was a bit of a consultation for this project in October in Emu Park. So I believe Meg and our other health promotion team leader, Maddie, went to Emu Park to have a discussion on how facilitators can get involved. And they kind of shared ideas and community insights and brainstormed ways to roll out a supermarket project in their area. The initiative aims to empower facilitators to engage local stores as well as health promotion partners to promote fruit and vegetables in supermarkets and enhance customer awareness of the Country Kitchen's 5 key messages, in particular that get more fruit and veg into your meals and cook at home message. So kind of as a result of the consultation that happened in Emu Park, the team developed a kind of branding and title for the pilot project called Supermarket Superheroes. This took inspiration, you might remember the Hero the Veg social media campaign that was done, which was quite successful. So the idea of the Supermarket Superheroes was based around that. And participating stores will promote fruit and vegetable, superhero to inspire shoppers to incorporate these items into their meals. And we're hoping by associating fruit and vegetables with superhero imagery. The campaign aims to make, healthy eating fun, hopefully maybe get kids asking for mom and dad to buy vegetables, things like that, and hoping to make the idea of buying fruit and veg and cooking with fresh fruit and veg a little more accessible for everybody. With the overall goal of the project being we want to increase the sales of fruit and vegetables in participating rural or regional supermarkets and stores throughout Queensland. So we're hoping for three main things from this project: to increase the capacity of our facilitators, so you guys, to engage local supermarkets. So we want you to feel confident walking into a supermarket and having a discussion with them as potential community partners for health promotion. We hope to increase promotion of fruit and vegetables in participating local stores. And we're hoping to increase customer awareness of the 5 key messages, like I said, in particular, that getting more fruit and veg and cooking at home key message. So to bring the campaign to life, we will develop and provide educational materials. So that includes in-store materials such as posters, recipe cards, and shelf tags that will feature the superheroes. So you can kind of see them on the shared slide there. They're pretty cute. So that will share the superhero produce and branding. And we're hoping that we can position these resources strategically in the store and that it will boost produce sales, benefiting both the store with increased sales and the community by fostering healthier eating habits. So we are currently engaging or hoping to engage with 3 potential pilot stores across the state, 1 in each QCWA region. So potentially northern, this is right, Damula, and then potentially Emu Park and Central, and then St. George, potentially in Southern to start.
Great. So another opportunity this financial year is to promote our Sit Less, Move More key message through walking groups. So you might have seen we've teased this in our fabulous Facilitator Network Facebook group. But basically QCWA members and Country Kitchens facilitators have been involved with a number of Sit Less, Move More activities really throughout the program's history. So that includes 10,000 Steps community projects. There's been some community walks in Tannum Sands and Boyne Valley, which were hosted by Port Curtis Division, as well as some Queensland Walks Month Steps activities. Mount Larkham branch in Central have also had a long-standing walking group with other branches looking to follow in their footsteps. So we are currently developing some resources to support you to set up a walking group, and that can be either within your branch or out in your community. So we're going to be developing some community activity guidelines, which you can see in the image on the left there, as well as some physical resource packs that each participant of the walking group can receive. So that includes a hat, a water bottle, and a pedometer. There are also other tools to support you with these walking group initiatives, such as the Queensland Walks Walk My Street checklist. So this tool really helps you to advocate for more walkable, rollable, and strollable streets in your community. So we are going to be releasing those community activity guidelines shortly. They have a whole bunch of information about all the different considerations you'd need to set up your own walking group, and details on how to be involved will be coming very soon. So exciting stuff. And then finally, another key project that the team have been working on is a review of levels 4 and 5 of the training pathway. So our hands-on nutrition workshops and Back to Basics series have had a really fantastic uptake over the past few years, kind of since we did that first redesign and relaunch. But we're always looking for ways to improve, and we have received some really valuable feedback from facilitators and identified some opportunities to refine the delivery of our Country Kitchens cooking workshops. So we are currently reviewing the format of our Level 4 hands-on nutrition workshop, and we're hoping that this will have a greater focus on really developing the food literacy and the culinary skills of participants. So if you have done Level 4, you know that this is really about having, competent skills and knowledge in food and how to prepare things so that, regardless of the change in your circumstance, you still have the knowledge and the skills to be able to, cook and provide for yourself, for others, in a healthy way. So these workshops are going to be targeted to adult audiences, and we're going to be updating the nutrition education flipbook content, which is what's delivered by you, our facilitators. And we're also going to be doing a bit of a review of the recipes and the resources that we give out to participants. So I guess given the success and popularity, particularly of our Cooking on a Budget cooking workshop, we are looking to develop 4 distinct workshops under this theme. So the idea is that they can either be delivered kind of in isolation as a one-off workshop, or if you have the same group that wants to do multiple, you can string them together as a series. We're also refining our healthy lunchboxes and our cooking for 1 or 2 themed workshops, as well as a general hands-on nutrition workshop that can offer, I guess, a range of flexibility, because we always like to make sure that we can adapt to whatever situation the workshop needs to be run in. So it could either be a country of study theme, or, personal preference on the type of recipes that your group wants to create. So that's what we're working on in level 4 at the moment. The revised level 5, we are thinking will focus mostly on cooking workshops for children. So many of our facilitators love to partner with schools to deliver these sessions. So looking to kind of restructure the format of that level as well. And finally, we are also looking to review level 6 advocacy. So we have just postponed the upcoming level 6 training that we had for this month, just while we're looking to kind of align this training with the QCWA advocacy process and procedures. So watch this space. Now, before we move on to the planning, does anyone have any questions for myself or Lindsay? Yeah, any of the projects or anything so far?
Yes, it's Jenny Swinburne here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, good. I had a bit of trouble getting on, and it all went off. And anyway, here I am. About the walking groups, that's new, isn't it? I haven't got any information on the walking groups, but I'm a great walker. Well, at the moment, I'm a bit stuck because I've sort of had a few breaks in my hips, but I'm getting there. This morning I went out very early and had another walk up the hill. I'd just be very interested in getting more information about that too, because that's one of the things I'm finding people don't like to do. But if you get them in a group and encourage them, they'll do it. So are we going to get some more information on all that?
Yeah. So we're just finalising those documents. So all the pictures that you saw of those water bottles, we've got everything ready to go, and we're very, very close to making an announcement about releasing those food activity guidelines.
Like what time frame? Sorry, Bronwyn.
Like
within a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then once those are released, we can always do like whatever people's preference, a call or a webinar specific thing about the walking groups and how that works if there's interest for that. Yeah.
I think there'll be interest.
Yeah. So my understanding is the document's just currently just with our funders for the final approval, and then we are able to distribute it. So should be very
great. Sounds good.
Just on that, everyone. So as Jemma had mentioned, we are hoping to get approval of those resources any day now. We're hoping that we will do, I guess, a bit of an initial launch at the International Study Conference to tie in with the ACWW Women Walk the World, which might be something that you're familiar with, but so certainly after that. So we do expect before the end of February we'll have those resources finalised, and we will have more communication out to everyone on the next steps and how to access those resources.
Good.
Hello, ladies. It's Christine King. I've been thinking about this walking group, and where we live, it's just too many hills, and we all live not very close together. So it's never been a keenness to kind of drive to a meeting spot to start walking. Instead, we're introducing chair exercises twice a month at the branch for 10 minutes of the morning before we start. And we've got 2 ladies who are quite happy and qualified to do this. And so there's great excitement that we'll all arrive ready, sitting on a chair at 9:30 on social day and craft day. And we're going to do chair exercises for 10 minutes. And I'm sure that we'll remember them when we go home, and we can do them at home on other days. And so we're going to take that initiative as our sit less, move more, because we have noticed that a lot of the members are shuffling and not lifting their feet, and there's a very big risk there of trips and falls. So I don't know whether that's a suggestion for anybody else, but where we are, there's an awful lot of hills and an awful lot of traffic and not too many footpaths. So the risk of walking groups is high because the grass is so high as well at the moment.
Yeah. Yes. Well, yeah, no, thank you, Christine. That's great to have those extra ideas for everyone. Certainly any type of sit less more activity is going to be within the realm of country kitchens and a reportable activity. And I did also want to highlight, we definitely understand that, you know, some areas may not be safe or walkable, but some of the materials that we will be including, like that Walk My Street kind of safety checklist, can really give you a snapshot of your area. And then what we are then thinking we could encourage people to do is, if you've identified that your area, you know, has long grass, doesn't have safe walking paths, then that could be a fantastic advocacy opportunity to your local council or government to improve, you know, the safety, because we do need the healthier environments in order for people to be able to, you know, do those healthy behaviours. So that's a great point. Thank you, Christine. Sheila, you have your hand up.
Sorry, just trying to unmute myself. Apologies for being a bit late. Things caught up with me this morning. But yeah, so with the supermarket superheroes, really keen heading off to our 2 supermarkets that have been part of that QR code project that we've been doing in St George, which has gone down really well over the last sort of 18 months or so, which has been great. So I'll approach those guys today. So hopefully St George will be on board as your Southern Region sort of project site.
Yeah,
and
that specifically, but I think that would be great.
Yeah, so I'll let you know later on. But hopefully we'll have the 2 supermarkets. But we'll see how we go. The walking group or something like chair yoga, I think, is great. We've got a few keen walkers in St George, and we've got a beautiful river down there. So I'll see whether we can get a walking group started. We have started a little dance group, but not really the QCWA, but we have started a little dance groups. There's about 20 of us go to dance every Friday night, and we learn different dances. And that's been a really good social. The other thing that I really want to do is this coming year is probably that back to basics and also the hands-on nutritional workshops. We're going to apply for the FRRR grant for mental health and wellbeing in regional remote areas, especially around farming communities. And the back to basics that I'd really be keen to look at doing is for some of the men. So the men that don't know how to, you know, they lose their wives or whatever happens, and they're then left where they don't know how to eat, and then they go down the pub or they go off to, you know, the Greasy Joe to have the burger and chips because they don't know what else to cook. So we're going to look and see whether we can run a program with this grant, which we hope to launch at our centenary Health Expo. So in St George, we've got our centenary this year, and we'll be having a full day health and wellbeing expo. And we hope to launch it all at that if we can. So so that's the plan. But I really like the idea of chair exercise or chair yoga because we've got a few people with dodgy hips and dodgy knees, and walking or dance doesn't really sort of. So I was really interested to hear about that one. So I will get back to you shortly around the supermarket superheroes. But the other thing around our expo, So Lindsay and Meg, I was wondering whether Country Kitchens would like to come out. It's an all-day event on the 19th of July. It's an all-day event, and we'd love to have Country Kitchens there with their stall and sort of doing a bit of information, out to the community.
Yeah,
So
I think I actually had that roughly penciled in. Like I have a note. Someone told me, and I knew it was a bigger event, so I was going to chat to you. But it's roughly in the in the calendar, and then hopefully by that point we'll have the what Jemma was mentioning, like probably relevant for that men's group, like the cooking for one or two kind of stuff, and we can make, I don't know, we'll organize it to make, we can do that, and then maybe have a day where we run over kind of that kind of stuff as well, but we'll go into more detail together. But yes, we'll chat about that, but I do actually have that tentatively put in.
Well, hopefully we can get this grant. It's up to $20,000, so I hope to run a reasonable program then, if that comes off. So because we haven't had a chance to do any of that here in St. George yet.
Yeah.
And we might be able to go out to some of the other smaller towns, down to Dallin and Dirranbandi.
Dirranbandi and stuff. Yeah. Sounds good. Thank you, Sheila. General.
It's Jenny Swinburne again.
Oh, sorry, Jenny, we've just got Jo's just got had her hand raised for a while. We'll just jump.
Oh, okay, right.
Okay. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. It's Jo here from Boona Branch. Just in relation to the walking groups, I think one of the crucial things to do for all of us in our communities is to find out what's already in existence, and those groups could be promoted then when we do have a static display in our halls, if we've got one. Also, if we're out and about in the community doing any sort of showcase or interactive show or hands-on nutrition workshop or something like that. Because I know here in Boona there's at least 2 walking groups that I know of. There's a gym that is supremely well equipped for older people. There's gym sticks at the community centre, there's chair yoga at the community centre, and they're just the things that I know about. It's a very vibrant, active and healthy program that Scenic Rim Council offer as well, that have Pilates in a lot of the different halls around here as well as in town. So there's already a lot happening, and I think that I think it's always a concern duplicating things that are already in existence that people could be linked into if they perhaps knew about them, and perhaps they don't. So we could also be the gatherer and distributor of information about what existing groups are already operating in our regional areas.
Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic point, Jo. And that is there's a whole section on that in our community guidelines too. So yeah, to clarify, it's either setting one up yourself, or we really do encourage you to scope, look at what other existing activities, because absolutely we don't want to double up. And it may be just looking for, a Heart Foundation group, or maybe there's a group that walks around the local shopping centre. So finding ways to tie into that rather than, starting your own if you don't need to. So thank you. And I think we are just running a little bit over time. So thank you, Jenny. We might just push through to this final section and then just have any remaining questions at the end, if that's okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Great. Thank you. We will come back to you though, just in case anyone else has to jump off.
All right, now that we have talked about all the fun stuff that you can do and that is upcoming, it is a great time, with probably CWA meetings picking back up for most of you in February, I believe, to start thinking about what Country Kitchens activities you and your branch might undertake this year. So setting aside some time to plan hopefully can help you, with recruiting some helpers, avoiding clashes with other events, and ensuring there is enough time for your Country Kitchens buddies. So for us to organize any resources and equipment you might need. So the January edition of our Nut Ed, has that gone out yet? Yes. Oh yeah. Sorry. So that's gone out. So you would have just received the January edition of our Nut Ed newsletter. And that actually focuses on Country Kitchens activity planning for 2025. So within that Nut Ed, you would have received kind of this planning template that you see on your shared screen there. And it outlines a number of considerations as well as brainstorming activities to help you plan your year. So some of these things will include setting goals. So it can be helpful to set some broader goals for the year by asking yourself what you wish to achieve. So almost a bit what Sheila was doing before. setting some goals for the branch, and you can always aim high and then adjust accordingly. Assessing your community, so kind of in line with what Joe was saying, if walking groups is something that you might be interested in, or that your community doesn't have, consider the needs and characteristics of your community and identify potential groups to work with, and consider groups that you or your branch have already had partnerships with in the past, as well as maybe any groups or organizations that have expressed interest in the program before. And then kind of the last section will be a bit more specifically planning your Country Kitchens activities. So plan these activities once you've set your goals for the year and identified community groups you'd like to work with. And from there, you can decide which Country Kitchens activities would be the most suitable. So for example, if your goal is to raise awareness about your branch and the program within your community, you might plan a Country Kitchen showcase. That could be a great place to start. If your goal is to teach people about healthy school lunches, you might want to start reaching out to your local school. So there's a lot of different avenues you can go, but it's really just about matching your planned Country Kitchens activities to your goals and what your community needs. So as I mentioned, the template will have been provided in the Nut Ed, but if you have any issues accessing that, just let us know. So we're just going to go to the final bit of this meeting. So we'll have a bit more of an open Q&A group discussion. I'm not sure what time.
Yeah, we are. We were only scheduled to 9:30. So if anyone needs to leave, please feel free. But if you'd like to stick around and you wanted to ask some questions or get involved, we will stay on for a little bit now. So
this is also where you can share any plans and activities and goals that you might already have for 2025. We've heard a couple, which is great. And if you have any questions for the team, myself, Jemma, or Meg, feel free.
So we might throw to you, Jenny, to your question before.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering, what do we do to tee up something with either Coles or Woolies? Who are the supermarkets? Are they specific supermarkets that are willing to have us set up a showcase or demonstration or what? Or are they all?
So there's not. Oh, you want to go, Meg? Actually,
I was going to say if I might take that question, if that's okay. So, Jenny, I think in terms of the Healthier Supermarkets project and the supermarket superheroes, we certainly have found, I guess, through our research and through talking with other people who've worked in this space, working with the larger supermarket chains, it can be very challenging. So sort of the Coles and the Woolworths can be quite challenging in the sense that they have, I guess, a structure and their sort of head office type structure can be a little bit prohibitive in terms of what we are able to do. So I guess our focus is really more on the smaller independent stores. So, if there is a local supermarket within your community that's independently owned, so that's sort of where we're looking to target, as we feel that they will be the easiest to connect with. We are also looking for facilitators or QCWA members who have maybe existing relationships with their supermarkets. So this is really where the consultation Emu Park in Capricornia division, that sort of stems from the fact that they had an existing relationship with their Drake supermarket and they had done a number of showcase type events outside the supermarket promoting both QCWA and Country Kitchen. And from there, that's sort of where that relationship has unfolded. And as Sheila had noted in St. George, there has been an existing relationship with some of the supermarkets there to promote our recipes and have displays. So often it's about an existing connection that a facilitator or a member might have. And so for this project, I guess we are probably not necessarily focusing on a Coles or a Woolworths, but if you do have a relationship, I know that there are other branches that work within their sort of local supermarkets or local shopping centres and have had displays, outside, perhaps a larger supermarket. But I guess for this project, we're sort of focusing on the smaller kind of independent stores. So
that's what I
hope that answers your question,
Yeah.
Jenny.
I couldn't imagine going up to my local Woolies and asking there. They probably look at me silly. So I just wondered, how do we go about it? So, all right, I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, thank you. Some of the feedback again that we've had from other people is that, they might be interested, say, at, their local store level, but they have, I guess, policies in place around the fact that it would need to be something that could be implemented across all stores. And, unfortunately, we don't have that capacity. And obviously, that might mean something has to happen at a national level. So, so that's sort of where that's at the moment.
Yeah, because they have booklets that they give out, and it's all got recipes and things in for their products, you see. And that's where we'd probably, come up against it. That's all right. That's all right.
Thank you.
I'm sure there's other avenues we can go to. So, thank you.
Thanks, Jenny. Does anyone else on the call have any questions?
No, all good.
No.
I think maybe Alison, did you have your hand up?
Yeah, there we go. I don't know how to get. I'm not very good on the computer, so I don't know how to get the little hand. But I guess if I raise my hand, I'm there. I'm just wondering about the level 4 workshop. Shall I just discuss with you via email, Lindsay, on when the next one is planned? I'm not familiar with it. I've only been in QCWA for just over a year, so I'm not familiar with the procedures.
Yeah, for the training, we can chat about that. Those ones are usually done, in person by area, but with the tweaks we're making,
they might be a little bit further away before we have the new format training, but in the interim, we definitely still have our new, like the current workshops are still operating. It's just kind of a project that we're starting to work on now. So we'll absolutely get anyone up to
I can also just give you a separate call to more just walk you through just a bit more background information than what you had today.
Okay, that'd be great.
Okay. So I can send you a message and see when you're free, and then maybe we can just have a bit more of a walkthrough of the current.
There's a couple of other ladies in the branch who have done the level 1 and 2, and they, I guess, will do the one in February for the level 3, and then there'll be a few of us that will be ready to do the level 4. So
maybe we can do something at the branch. If there's a few people interested, we can work together maybe to plan that and plan a date. Definitely, but we can have a bit more.
That'd be great. Thank you.
Can you hear me, Lindsay? Wendy Gordon?
Yeah.
Hi there. I just wanted to touch on a couple of things. The cooking for one with the men, perhaps reaching out to your men's shed or your Tomnet group, your local groups like that. That could be a link in for the St. George who are looking at cooking for one with the men.
Men's shed are always a good. I know Boona too. Joe's on the call. She's done stuff with the RSL, which is in the area, which was primarily, or was all men actually when I did it, but I'm not sure about the ones that took place when I was on mat leave, but they're also, RSLs can also be a good access point probably for men in the community as well, we found.
And the Emu Creek one we did with the pick of the crop through the schools, that's another contact I thought that might be handy for people to know.
So definitely, schools and pick of the crop, a lot of potential and plenty of interest from a range of schools. And Christine?
Yes, I've got the mic off. Have I? Can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm just wondering how often you start like level 1 training again, because I'm endeavouring to get some members involved in our branch. I've got one new one and I want to get a couple more. And we've had a lady who's done training like at other branches, who's in our branch, who's now going to come and be attached to our branch. So I'm aiming to get 6 for the size of our branch, but I want to know how frequent, like the basic training is for these new
we run a level 1, 2, and 3 roughly every month on the same day. So people have the option to do the 1, 2, and then stick around and do the 3 in one hit if they like. So the next one we have is on Friday, the 28th of February, and we still have registrations open for that. Otherwise, we have Tuesday, the 25th of March.
All right. Well,
Well,
I think that I'll come back and join them again and redo it with them just to show support, because some of them don't have, they've only got an iPad. They don't have a computer, and I'm not sure how that works.
Yeah.
So I think just as if we come together and share it on a couple of screens, that might be a little bit more supportive.
Yeah, that would be great.
That means then I'm up to 4 people, so I've only got 2 more to find. So I hope I get this right. And with our chair exercises, I think there. But we want to thank Country Kitchens very much for the donation of the Christmas recipe booklets that were given to the branch for the Christmas party.
Yeah,
that
great.
was quite generous, and we will be sending you a certificate of appreciation.
Thank you. Well, glad everyone enjoyed the recipes, and we'll be in touch about. More than happy to help you register everyone for those sessions.
Good. Thanks, girls.
Thanks, Kristen. Any further questions? Anyone want to share any ideas or activities? Well done.
Jenny Swinburne.
Oh, yeah.
Can I come in?
Yeah.
Is someone else wanting to come in?
I'll come in after you, Jenny.
Yeah,
okay.
Go, Jenny.
I was just saying I've done a little bit of advocacy work in the last couple of weeks. I've approached our councillor, our local councillor, and she was so lovely. And she gave me quite a few little groups for me to get in contact with, which I have done. And they're all going to get back to me. So we're sort of starting our year. I haven't been very well the last 12 months, but I can assure you I'm getting better now. And I'm really keen to sort of get something done this year with getting out there into the community and letting everybody know that your health is the most important thing you will ever have. And that's one of my high quotes. Your health is the most important thing you will ever have. So a good health. So I'm looking really keen to hoping that with Karen, my offsider, we can get on with it. And so with the help from you, with my buddies from the Country Kitchens, I hope that this year is going to be really good. And I wish everybody else the same. And anybody who wants to share anything, I can see Rosemary there. Hi, Rosemary.
Hi, Jenny.
We've done some stuff together, and it's been wonderful. So here goes. Let's hope the year is going to be one of great work and fun. Thank you. Goodbye.
Hi, everyone. Rosemary here from Bow Desert. Can I just say that next Thursday, I'll be holding my first, I think it's called Cup of Tea in the Community. It'll be out at Rathdowney, and which is a area about 25 minutes or so from Bow Desert. And I'm going to be making, maybe demonstrating making roll-ups there for that.
Yep.
And Joe and I can't think of the other lady's name from
Sandy.
Sandy, that's the one. Joe and Sandy are going to be there with me as well, helping. And what are you making, Joe?
I'm making pumpkin and date wholemeal scones.
That's right. Yes. And what's the other?
I'm not sure what Sandy's doing. I think it was one of the muffin recipes, maybe that polenta and something or other. Yeah.
And it's going to be, it's my first introduction to this. And I'm really very lucky that Lindsey is going to come out to support us as well. So it should be a good morning. Thank you.
Good on you, Rosemary. Good on you, Rosemary.
Wonderful. Thanks so much, Rosemary. All right. Any final questions from anyone? No? Oh, one more, Alison.
Sorry, I'll just unmute myself. Am I mute? Can you hear me?
Can hear you now.
Just going off the beaten track just to get more exposure. I don't know if you're familiar with the program in the morning called Sunrise. It's a news day-to-day type thing, goes Monday to Friday. But at about 10 to 9, they have a cooking segment, and it's often people come on and promote their recipes. But I just wonder, as a national thing, whether QCWA could get on there with their country kitchens, healthy options, and start the ball rolling from that area, whether they would allow you to do that. Because there used to be just a clinical nutritionalist, but now they seem to be going further afield and getting more independent people, whether it's influencers, whether it's whatever. So it could be an option we could look at for the exposure of the new country kitchens, healthy options.
Yeah, definitely. We're always
And
looking
I'm sure
at any, yeah.
it's on a Channel 7, and then there's Today on Channel 9, which I would imagine they would have a similar sort of thing. But I just thought for exposure for what we're trying to obtain, and you've still got your discretionary foods, of course, with the scones and the jams, but going into the healthier side of day-to-day eating, I think it would be a good option. Anyway, just thought I'd say.
Absolutely. Yeah, thank you, Alison. Yeah, we're definitely always looking for any kind of media or other opportunities. So yeah, we'll keep that one in mind. Often the biggest challenge is getting a facilitator who's happy to be in front of a camera or the television. But if there's anyone that's interested, we're always open ears. So great. Thank you so much. All right, well, we might end the session there this morning. Thank you everyone again so much for coming along. We will be distributing the recording of this session if you wanted to rewatch it. And yeah, we'll definitely be looking to schedule in another one before the end of the financial year. So thanks again, everyone, and we hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thank
Thanks,
you.
everyone.
Bye.
Good ideas. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.
Thank you very much.